Okay, so in my last video, I plotted all of Anarchist in one day. And I was able to plot out pretty much the whole story. I brainstormed almost everything, almost all of the important stuff. And if you guys missed that video, you guys can actually check that out up here. And I would kind of advise you to maybe watch that video because it's going to give a lot of context to what this video is going to be about. And as you can tell by the title, it's time to plot again. And you're probably wondering, wait a second, you just made an outline or sort of an outline in your last video, and that was only 2 weeks ago. And I would reply by saying, yes, you're 100% correct. But once I started writing Anarchist and I got to the end of chapter 4, and I was looking at my outline and I was looking at all of the different plot threads and plot things that I want to do and character development and just things that I need to cram into this book, I started to realize that my outline is not detailed enough to keep me on track for what I want to do with this story. So I realized that, yeah, we need a different method because what I have now is good, but it's not great. And yeah, that probably is a byproduct of me not being a plotter historically. Like I said in the last video, I'm a reformed pantser. I like to call myself a plantser because I'm still in the middle of both of them, but in this book, I think I need to become a hardcore plotter. So yeah, for the last week or so, I've been kind of stuck writing Anarchist. I think I only wrote 1,000 words last week, which is it's a low for the entire year, believe it or not. I've been writing a lot this year, actually. I think I've written 80,000 words since January, which is crazy to think about. I think it might even be more than 80,000 words. I think it might be closer to 100,000 words that I've written since January. And yeah, my numbers have plummeted off a cliff this past week because it's just that I want to make sure I'm handling the story as well as I can in the first draft, which means I've got to make sure I'm keeping track of all the different balls I'm juggling in the air and stuff like that. So in my short writing hiatus, if you want to call it that, I watched a video by Emily Thompson. She's a great author tuber. I love her videos. I love her thumbnails. I love everything about her channel. You guys should definitely check her out. And the specific video I watched was the one where she did the 27 chapter plot outline on her channel for her work in progress. And I've never actually heard of the 27 chapter outline. And I watched that video and I came away from it thinking, this would be perfect for my book because the first book in this series of Elysium Rising, Gladiator, was not 27 chapters, it was 34. But the way I write, some chapters are smaller than others, so like the whole story would definitely fit in this specific structure of the 27 chapter outline. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. We're going to be filling out the 27 chapter outline. We're going to get unstuck in Anarchist and we're going to continue powering through with this manuscript. But that's not all we're going to be doing today, because alongside the 27 chapter outline, I want to take it from my Google Doc where a lot of my stuff is hosted, and I want to bring it into the real world and put it on my whiteboard that I have behind my desk, and just so I can have like a physical representation of it so I'm always thinking about the book. So what I'm going to do after I finish typing it all up, I'm going to write out a short 1 to 2 sentence summary of every chapter on 27 sticky notes, and I'm going to place them on my whiteboard just to make sure that the timeline makes sense, see if I need to rearrange some scenes here and there or take scenes out completely. And yeah, that's what's on the agenda for this video. But before I can get started with actually writing the 27 chapter outline, I need to take a quick trip to Target to buy some sticky notes because I do not have any sticky notes. So yeah, gonna take a quick trip to Target and then come back home and get to work on this 27 chapter outline. See you guys in a bit. Okay, so I did go to Target, but that's not all I did, as you guys can see from the clips that I just showed you. So yeah, I took a bit of a detour. It's Sunday. I figured, you know, why not get out the house, you know, do a little exploring around the city. Checked out this vinyl cafe that I've actually been to before. I'm pretty sure it showed up in a previous video like months ago, but yeah, I went there, checked out some records. I've actually never sat down in there before, so I actually decided to sit down for like 30 minutes and write up the first 5 chapters of the 27 chapter outline. And yeah, I actually bought some records that I want to show you guys real quick. I know this is a writing channel, but I also really love music too, as you guys can probably tell from how much I talk about making soundtracks for my books. So yeah, let me get those records real quick and show you guys what I bought. Okay, so 2 of these records I actually got last weekend. So technically I didn't get them today, but the other 2 I did. Okay, so this is Vessel by 21 Pilots. It's their 2nd studio album. It was the first album of theirs that I actually heard. And yeah, this is one of my favorite albums of all time. So a quick little, not backstory, but when I go record shopping, I have 2 things that I'm looking for. First of all, I'm trying to collect all of my like favorite albums on vinyl first. And then I also go and get like either records from artists that I know, but like maybe haven't heard, or just like cool looking vinyl covers or discs. Or not discs, cool looking vinyls, the vinyls themselves. Because sometimes they're really cool, like the one I'm going to show you in a second. Or actually, no, it's this one I'm talking about. This one, the guy at the vinyl shop was like, it's the limited edition clear thing. Hold on, let me see if I can do this with one hand. Ugh. But yeah, this is like a special edition he showed me. And it's completely clear, which is super cool. So yeah, that's the first one I got. That was 2 weeks ago. And then I got Take Care by Drake. This was literally the first thing I saw when I walked in. Had to grab it. This is also, nope, this is the 2nd Drake album I ever heard. And yeah, this is like peak childhood. 12-year-old me, 13-year-old me loved this album. So yeah, had to get this one. I gotta get all of Drake's albums, but like this one, yeah, this is one of them ones. And then this is one of the ones I got today. This is Slow Tie Ugly. This is the most recent album. I actually haven't heard it. I am a big Slow Tie fan, but like I never heard this album. So I'm glad that I picked it up because the cover is actually super cool. And it's only like 10 songs. It's 12 songs actually, which is, I like shorter albums because it means like most of the time, almost all the songs are going to be good. And last but not least, you know I had to cop the Michael Jackson. This is my favorite Michael Jackson album. When I was like a little kid, I used to love Michael Jackson. I would play all his CDs on like my portable CD player. And yeah, this is definitely the one that I like love the most. I literally love every single song on here. Like this is definitely my favorite MJ record. But yeah, these are just the 4 records that I picked up. Back to the video. Now that I'm back home, I want to finish the 27 chapter outline once and for all and start getting to work on my sticky note whiteboard situation. So yeah, now we're gonna finish that 27 chapter outline. Okay, so it is actually the next day. I ran out of time to finish the 27 chapter outline yesterday on Sunday, and it's now Monday, and I'm going to try my best to wrap this up by the end of the day. The reason why I ran out of time yesterday to finish it was because I got stuck in the middle, which is actually part of the reason why I got stuck with Anarchist in the first place. Because this book, like I've said before, there's a lot going on. Like in the beginning, it's like a science fiction war political intrigue book, and then in the middle it's like a chase because my characters are running from this group that worked for the Empire called the Secret Police. They specifically work for the Emperor, and he sends the secret police after my main characters because they have found out something that they're not supposed to find out. So the middle of the book is kind of like a chase, and then somewhere in there is the heist, and then there's conspiracies, and then there's a whole subplot with Iggy and the Centauri Order, which is basically like my version of the Jedi Order, but at least in my series, they don't exist anymore. So it's like the Jedi post Order 66. So there's that plot line going on, and then there's just a lot of things that I got going on. So I'm really getting stuck in the middle. But I'm gonna go ahead and try and crank some of these out, at least on camera, so you guys can like kind of think through my process, and also so I can just like talk about a little bit what's on here. I'm probably gonna record until my camera dies because it's at 7%. So yeah, let's get to it. So I'm currently on chapter 18, at the end of chapter 18. Not sure if I'm gonna blur this out or have you guys read it because some of this stuff is spoilers, but like I'll just say, let me just break down like what the chapters are. So this area, Act 1, we are in Act 2 now. So yeah, we're in the middle of Act 2. Actually, no, we're at the end of Act 2. Chapter 18 it's towards the end of Act 2. So the heist hasn't happened yet, but we're getting close to the point where my characters are getting ready to plan it. So that's kind of where I'm getting stuck because there's two different options that I can go, like two different things that I can have my characters do. I can have them go one place, or I can have them go straight into the heist, and I'm like wondering which one I should do. I'm gonna actually read what I have for chapter 18 for you guys just to try and kickstart my brain. So the beginning, the way the chapters are broken into, it's the beginning of the chapter, middle of the chapter, and end of the chapter. It's not necessarily scenes, but it's more so just beginning, middle, end. And then, yeah, chapter 18 is resolution, and it's the characters regroup, they gather the supplies they need, and learn the skills they need to learn. From the sound of that description, it sounds like they should be gearing up for the heist, which is why I'm kind of conflicted because in my large synopsis that I did in my previous video, that's not what's going on right here. But I'm trying to rework things so it fits into this outline, or at least into where I have a coherent outline and story structure. So I'm trying to figure out the end of this chapter. So like I said, I was going to read it. So the beginning of chapter 18 is, armed with their new information, Jackson desperately wants to use the Novelist to infiltrate the research base. So a little bit of context. This is not really a spoiler. It's not that important if I say it on camera. At this point in the novel, Jackson, who is one of the main characters, he's like the secondary main character. Him, Iggy, and High Priestess Noya have captured an Elysian official and are planning on blackmailing him to get to this one area. So this is like the aftermath of that. That's the beginning of the chapter. And in the middle of the chapter, they go back to Zonaru after Zonaru is the headquarters of the rebellion, the Alliance. So Jackson did not want to go back there because they're kind of in trouble from some earlier events in the book. But he didn't want to go back, but they're forcing him to go back, so he's kind of mad at them. And so during this ride back to Zonaru from the planet that they were on previously, I do a little bit more digging into the plot line I have with Iggy and finding the Centauri Order, because he asks Noya about what she knows, and she tells him what she knows, and it's not much, but, you know, it furthers that plot line. So that's why I'm kind of stuck on, I think chapter 18 should just be them arriving on Zonaru and facing the consequences of their previous actions. So I think that's actually what I'm going to write for here. So I'm just going to write, the gang arrives on Zonaru and immediately confronted by the Chancellor and the Alliance for their breaking of protocol. And I think that's just going to be the end of that chapter. And then chapter 19 deals with what happens after that. And then I think 20, we can get into more, like 19 and 20 will probably be the heist setup, as 19 is set up and then 20 is conflict. So I think 19 will probably be split into 2 chapters. Like, this is a 27 chapter outline. This book's not going to be 27 chapters exactly, but like, this is good for a basis. So yeah, finish chapter 18. My camera's about to die, and I'll check in with you guys after I finish the outline entirely. I finished the entire outline, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like, the way this story is going to unfold is absolutely insane. I genuinely can't remember the last time I was like this excited to write a project. My camera's about to die. But anyways, finished the outline. It's amazing. I did record a clip earlier where I was going through like one of the chapters for the outline just to like show you guys how I was doing it. Then I realized my microphone was not plugged into my camera. So yeah, may or may not include that clip still. Who knows? But anyways, I'm done with the outline, which means we can move on to phase 2, which is putting these sticky notes on my whiteboard. Okay, so I finished my sticky notes. I color coded them. As you can see, there's 3 different colors here. Act 1 is lime green, Act 2 is orange, and Act 3 is blue. So now that I'm done with all 27 of these, it's time to put them on my whiteboard and arrange them. My 27 chapter outline is officially finished. I have the outline finished on Google Docs, and I've got the outline finished on my whiteboard. That's 27 chapters, the entire plot, the A plot, the B plot, and even the C plot that I came up with while making the outline on my Google Doc form. All of that's plotted out. I've got everything that I need, and there's only one thing left to do. It's time to start writing Anarchist for the second time. I'm probably not going to rewrite anything that I already have, as I was only 4 chapters in, but now I feel like I'm a lot more equipped to handle the more complex elements and story threads that I came up with for the story. Make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel if you guys want to be up to date with all of my Anarchist updates, and like the video if you enjoyed or if you learned something with this different outlining method that I tried out, because maybe the outline method that you're used to using isn't always the best option to use for whatever story you're working on. That was certainly the case for me, because I was used to outlining in a different method and a different style, but clearly those methods were not working for Anarchist. So I had to switch it up and I had to use a different method, and I feel like this is working a lot better. And also make sure to comment down below what your favorite type of outlining method is, because I would love to hear about the different ways to outline a book. But that'll be all for this video. I've been LDJ Writes, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.